Yeah. It's paradoxical in the sense that the mind cannot understand because the mind is linear. It's black and white. It's one or the other, right? It's like a lawyer, like ask you a question very specifically. So if you say yes, you are doomed, and if you say no, you are doomed. Like there is no there is no way out. This is the mind. It's all trick you into. Yeah. But the heart doesn't work that way. Everything that is really, if you look at your life right now, if we take it to be a moment just to look at your experience right now, and you can go in memory if you need to, that's fine. But if you look to 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 what makes sense, what is meaningful in your life, what is the people, the love that you feel for people, the pleasure that you feel in activities, the memory you have of this, right? The beauty that you saw in landscape or in different objects that you may own. I think that meaning, the meaning of the purpose of your life or your activity that makes sense for you, the love that you feel for your family or friends or dogs, the beauty that you see in landscape or different objects is inexplicable. And you cannot measure them. There is no measure. There is no way to have a reference frame of how much I love uh, my father, and how much I love my mother, and how much I love my brother, how much and what is meaningful and deeply valuable for us as being is not measurable, but still is very, very present, very, very real, very, very alive. In fact, it is the only thing alive. But description of it, talking about it, trying to put uh, a level or to measure things, that's completely mental and that's imaginary. And that's a huge shift to understand that what we what is really powerful and meaningful for us is not conceptual. So because it is outside of the capacity of our analytical mind, it's impossible for us to talk about it. It's ineffable. And I think this is one of the path of contemplation that I was trying to point, which is maybe very similar to devotion, which is very connected to what Nichols said, like, what is imaginary? Do I'm imagining God? Do I'm this? Do I'm that? At some point, is who cares? It is meaningful for you. It is. It is expensive. Do you feel a peace that is inexplicable? If so, who cares? Whatever the way it appear, and reconnecting with this deep meaning within, with this deep spark, with this deep light within. It's very, very powerful because the light that I am, the light of consciousness or God or reality, is what is where this experience is coming from. It is this life force that is holding every atom everywhere all together, that is making this experience coherent. That when The image I have of my arm and the sensation I have on my arm and my thought about my arm are all perfectly synchronized together. Perfectly. Who is doing this? This life force that is here. So this is what is already taking care of everything. So the more I align to it, the more my perception, my sensation, my thought will get informed by it, and they will realign in the best way possible, because this is an experience of limitation. So the best alignment will always be a failure, right? But doesn't matter, because it's not in sensation, perception, or thought that meaning is. And I want to precise, I want to clarify that. I often talk about going into sensation, but when you go into sensation, you still are in manifestation. You still are focusing on an object in your experience. So that's not the end goal, but that's already a huge step outside of the analytical mind. And the step from sensation to this non-conceptual light, this presence that you are, it's become more porous from sensation than from thought, even though everything is possible. Uh, so the meaning is what we are, and I feel the when I contemplate my experience, I can see that. When I was at the beach with my son today, and it was beautiful. It was the water, the sun down, the sun was going down. It was a beautiful light and the reflection, and he was throwing rocks, and the picture was amazing. It was a beautiful image. But the beauty that it's here, the love, it's here. It's not in my son out there, it's here. But I'm not negating the experiential beauty, the projection of this beauty on 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 my screen, right? On my eyes, in my eyes. What a beauty. And then it's instead of focusing, I need to go back to the beach. I should have taken a picture. I should have this. Oh, my son is my oh, I still feel the beauty. Right. So maybe I'm using an image and it might just coming, but the true juice is it's this inner experience of light within. And sometimes I'm feeling this light when I'm sitting in my room in the dark. Beautiful. So it doesn't need a support, but sometimes it can have a support. And also really remember that that's what you are. And everything else that seemed to happen maybe is not that important. And if it is important, recognize that the importance is not is not out there. It's because somehow it there's a projection of importance on it. I need to do this in my life. No, you don't. But I feel I have to. So you have to now. Nice. Try to make it happen. See what maybe you succeed, maybe you don't. Let it happen, right? And that's the freedom. Absolutely, you let your experience completely free. Completely free.